Welcome to my complete city build in Cities Skylines. This is episode 7. My objective with this city is to build a city on a snow map with 200,000 population and 80% traffic flow with no despawning. So the city is on a snow map. We are at 164,000 on the population, so we are almost there. And for City Skylines purposes, this is considered a huge city. And here's the traffic. So first of all, no despawning, and here we are, 80%. So we have actually accomplished 2 of the 3 objectives. The first one being really easy, and that's just to start on a snow map. But the traffic is going great. The city is growing quite rapidly, so we're getting towards that 200,000 number. This city is my magnum opus. This is the greatest city that I have ever made in Cities Skylines 1, and this may be the last city I will ever make in Cities Skylines 1. I hope you find this series entertaining and educational. You should be able to use all of my building tips shown in this series to build a great city with a good layout, good roads, good traffic flow, and good finances. There is a playlist if you want to see this city build from start to finish. And there's also a playlist where I fix other people's cities and their traffic. And so those are the submitted city fix videos. You can check those out. And in that playlist, there's a boatload of other videos with tips. For example, on a Metro subway guide, beginner's guide, traffic manager settings, and lots of other tips and tutorials. Let me review what I have done since episode 6. And as always, if you like this video, hit the like button. If you don't like it, you can hit the dislike button. And if you want to support me more, smash that subscribe button. As always, Stream Vibes music playing in the background. You can check it out on most music platforms all over the world, and you can use it on your own live streams and videos. You won't get a copyright strike because I own the copyright for it. All right, so first of all, since episode 6, the population has grown substantially. We were at about 133,000, and like I said, we're now at 164. I have completed right here this peninsula. This was in development before, so that's been built out. Could I fill it out a little bit more? Possibly, though that's not the plan currently. We'll see what happens. Also, this south central area has been built out quite a bit. So, big expansion here in the southern part of the city. There was also this highway right here that went through the southwest side, and I fixed it. It was off by 1 unit. That's right, 1 unit. I want the city to be as close to perfect with the layout as possible, so I've built it with as much precision as I can. And so, yeah, I fixed it up so that my grid, well, it's not a grid layout, it's what I call a block layout. So my block layout fits perfectly with the rest of the existing block layout of the city. Also, when I was building out this southern side, there's a big industrial area. Boom. This is about as big of an industrial area as you want to get, just so you know. You don't want it to get any bigger, otherwise it'll cause traffic problems. So as I built this industrial area out, there is a cargo train terminal right here. And so the rail line, I have built that, and you can see that right here. In between the highway. In between the highway, and if you've seen any of my city fixes, you'll know that that's where I like to put my train tracks, is in between the highways. It gets them out of the way so that you don't have to worry about it kind of blocking up a lot of the road or something like that. And it makes the layout look a lot better, a lot cleaner. We do have a little bit of a traffic problem with the trains, so I'm going to have to, I will work on that with this video. And then last thing I wanted to show is the unemployment rate. It's perfect, 3%. Oh yeah, and then I also, there was a little bit of modifications that I wanted to do with the industrial area right here. And so I did polish that out. Okay, so for this episode, one of the main things I want to do is update the amusement park and add a zoo. So that's over here. center east side. We've hit all of the levels that we need to do, and so I can actually add the remaining sections that I needed to add. And so the two things that I have not built, where is it at? Yeah, so I haven't built a roller coaster yet, and I haven't done the Ferris wheel yet. Everything else has been built. Like this was the last thing, which is a log ride. I don't actually remember that before. I wonder if that's a new thing that they added. It's really nice looking. So we've got two things to add. And then one of the issues that I had before is I wanted to add a zoo. And so, you know, you have to first create the main gate. And so this is the amusement park district. And it won't actually let you place more than one gate. And you can't really have two parks in the same area. So what I am going to do is I'm going to decrease the amusement park, make the district a little bit smaller, and then create a little bit of an amusement park next to it. That way I can fit both technically in the same vicinity, but where it works through the way that the system works, the mechanics for the game. So I'm going to tinker with that a little bit, and I'll be right back. All right, I have updated the amusement park, so I moved the side gate south a little bit, created some additional paths, and so the rides that were up over here, I've kind of moved them down a little bit. So now let's go ahead and put in the other two rides that I now can do but wasn't able to before. So I want to do the amusement park right here. And then I want to do the Ferris wheel right here. On the other side. Flip you over. There you go. Excellent. That'll be great. So these offices over here, they've got a nice view, and then with the Ferris wheel you got a nice view of that southern part of the city, and then this ride you're going to get a great view of the northern part of the city, so that works out great. What is this thing called? What is this roller coaster called? Hypergate. Okay, got it. So I think that's very good. And so now I can destroy... Well, actually, I'll keep that path because I'll need it for the zoo. But what we'll do is I want to erase part of the park area. Yeah, okay, very good. Bring it in from here. See if we can get ever closer. Smaller. There we go. Good. So then I want to do the zoo. And for the time being, actually, I'll put the zoo just all nice and adjacent to it, like that, for the time being. And I don't know how far south I'll go, but we'll leave it like that. And then I just want to think about where I want the entrances to be. I've got the entrances set up. Here's the zoo main gate. And here's the zoo side gate. They're also set up based on the road system, and the amusement park is as well. It fits into the block format, so that's very good. I want to go ahead and connect these two with paths, and then we'll start putting down our first, first zoo items. Very good. And let's see what we can put in. Plaza. Yep, we'll do that by the main gate. Sounds good. Cafe. Sure. It doesn't have a grid, or it doesn't snap to grid, which is unfortunate. Souvenir shop. What is this? Oh yeah, definitely. Okay. What's the first thing we can build? Moose and reindeer? That seems nice on a snow map. Oh my god, it's huge. Oh, I was thinking that you have to connect it to the path, but you do not. Okay. Birdhouse. Oh, well, this does snap to it. I wonder why. I don't know why the other one didn't snap to it, but we'll figure it out over time. Antelope. Okay, and the others you cannot build. Got it. Let's take a look here. Ah, there we go. There. I think that's good. Let's change this. Zoo. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and hit play, and let's kind of see what's going on here. So these guys will already have riders. Oh. That's great. Reminds me a little bit of Roller Coaster Tycoon. If you haven't played it, that's a really good game too. Nice. All right, that's great. Looks like we have a little bit of a water issue and electrical issue. All right, that's fine. I probably will clean up that a little bit later. Just doing this so that it works. I'll polish those up a little bit later as this area I'm going to build out a little bit so it will have an electrical connection right from here. I just want to make sure everything is working fine, get an idea of what it looks like. So I think that's good. Pretty cheap, $10. Well, made that cost some money. It still loses money though. You can see the income and the expenses. The city is totally profitable, so I'm not really worried about the cost. But I don't want it to be too much of a drain. Okay, well that's good. So even though it's two technically different park areas, they're so close together. Eventually I'll hook it up, which means that somebody could come in through the zoo and go right into the amusement park. But my idea was to have it be the same, the same large park. So eventually, as the zoo builds out, I'll have the prices the same. Okay, very good. So that was one of the main things I wanted to do, is get those guys going, and obviously the zoo is going to take some time for it to level up. Oh, I do want to check on... I don't exactly know what the demand is going to be. It's the city has great walkability, so quite a bit of this will just be able to happen from the visitors. It'll just be from people walking over here. I mean, it's got 21,000 visitors. It's amazing. Visitors this week, 58. Okay. Visitors this week, 1. 8 total. All right, so we're just going to let it level up. And apparently there's a lot more. Bison, insect, amphibian, reptile. What? How is that pronounced? Tarsier? Flamingo. So the zoo is much bigger. Elephant, sea life. And that's one of the reasons why I wanted to put it by the water, because I wanted to get that sea life enclosure. So I would suspect, because of the size, I would suspect that I'll have it kind of surround the amusement park. And so this whole area right here, this quadrilateral, will be a very nice, large, major park area for the city. So I think that's great. I do have night-day mode turned on. That way we can, well, I wanted to show you what the city looks like in the daytime and in the nighttime, and then also show what the traffic looks like. So, I mean, look at that. That's phenomenal. 82%. Again, there's no despawning. And so the other thing I want to do in this episode is this area right here. Does this just... Yeah, it's an island, I thought. And so for the map, we get a portion of this west island, and so I do want to start building that. And I want to start out with just some ideas of what I want to have in this place, and one of those is... where's it at? The ChirpX launcher. I don't even know where it's located. Oh, there it is. Okay. Yeah, so I want to do that. And then, of course, with Cities Skylines 2 coming out, there's some additional ones that can be built. And, I mean, when I started the Cities Skylines 2 was not announced, so I'm still going to think about if I even want to include these. No, the ones that I have included are the unique buildings that I actually really like, that I like the way that they look. I don't think that they're overpowered. I think that they're interesting to have, or they make sense for the location. They make sense for the layout of the city. So I may not really use these. I did build this one just because I like the idea of the tribute to the modding community. Now, I have my own items in the workshop, which are the intersections, the highway intersections, and this, the stack interchange. So I think my stack interchange is the best stack interchange out there, and I think my highway intersections are the best ones out there because they have integrated paths, integrated rail, and integrated frontage roads, and they absolutely destroy traffic. And so I use those. I've definitely used those in my city, but I use those in my submitted city fixes. Yeah, this is what the city looks like at night. It's the block layout. It's very organized. I love it. I think it's really pretty. I've done a lot of fun designs for many of the blocks. And then here's what the traffic looks like. So that's good that it's doing all right in the nighttime as well as the daytime. While we wait for daytime to come back, let me find out what's going on with the rail. Actually, I'm going to pause it. It got stuck somewhere. You will notice that sometimes they can glitch or they can get stuck and it causes gridlock in the rail system. And I have a feeling that it's caused here. That's what I think. Oh, jeez. Come on. There we go. There we go. I think it may be caused by that guy right over there. I don't really see traffic problems with the rail system. It's very rare. It's caused by something, some glitch that's happened or some fluke circumstance. So let me come back here and see, are these guys moving now? Yeah, like, did somebody get stuck, like, here? Looks like somebody got, like, stuck right here. Is that what's going on? Yeah, that train might have gotten stuck. And I don't exactly know when, but it caused all of these guys to stop moving. So that may be it. Yeah, okay. It'll take some time for it to clear out, and that's okay. And we can try to help it a little bit by just kind of destroying some of these trains for the time being. And accelerate the process a little bit. Okay, well, we just gotta let it go. How far back does it... How far back are these trains stuck? Oh man, they're all the way outside the map. That's gonna take some time for it to clear out. That's fine. I'll monitor it over time, but we can see that they're starting to move now. Yeah, this thing right here. Okay. The other thing that eventually will happen, I'm not there yet, but I've kept the room. So there'll be a connection right here. And then there'll be a rail line that'll go westward. Again, it'll be in between the highways, connect through here, and then come back and connect right here. And so right now there's just one way to get to the northwest side of the city with the rail system. You have to come through here, take a left. And so I haven't built this other part out yet. But we'll get there. We'll get there over time. All right, let's... So I want to actually build here. And so we want to do the ChirpX launcher So let me kind of analyze exactly the spot, or close to exactly the spot. Okay, I completed the blocks, and then I made a nice little road right here, which will be used to place the ChirpX launcher next to, and then I moved any rocks out of the way. One of the things I've been doing is if there was any rocks on the map, I've been keeping them and just moving them slightly out of the way. So here we go. ChirpX. And then I wanted to place it here on purpose. Bam, nice. Because it'll be next to the water, so you know, I think that's a good place for where you're launching rockets from. And I wanted it not in the necessarily outskirts of the city, but on the edge of the city. Great. And so we won't be able to launch until, you know, until it gets all of the rocket construction. So very good. That was one thing I wanted to place in this area. Oh yeah. I'll work on the water later. The water system is also built in the block format. So it's set up in a very nice, organized grid system, except when I'm doing little things like this. Otherwise, it's set up to be a very nice, organized grid system. So that's why I made that pipe kind of messed up, because I'm, as a reminder to myself that I'm not really done with that. I'm still working on it. There. So we're good, but that's a good tourist attraction, so I will be placing a few more tourist items in this vicinity. All right, the sun's coming up. Excellent. You do see like some trash icons, but there's really not that many. 83. So that's fine for this size city. That's fine, and the population has grown a little bit. Oh, noticing some water demand, huh? Let's take a look at our budget. We are maxed out on water. So what's the shortage? Both pumping and sewage. Okay. That takes care of the pumping. Let's take a look at where we want the sewage thing to be. Where's the water current? You want to look for the arrows to see the water current. It's going west out of the city. Yeah. This would actually be a pretty decent spot for it then. Play. Let's see if that addresses these guys. Good. Yep. Very good. Great. We're going to be running a little bit low on electricity here soon. And do I have room in the budget? Yeah. Otherwise, we'll build a new item for power production. All right, so we've got great demand bars. City is growing nicely. And so these are the trucks that are dropping stuff off to get the construction materials needed. It's expensive. $2,400 a week. I've noticed that the profitability has skyrocketed. The profitability does change based on time of day, so most likely it has to do with that. Let's take a look at the zoo. 26 visitors this week. Okay, so the zoo is up and running just fine. 105 visitors for the amusement park. Great. And so I do want to start to build this area out. Let me take a look and see what other unique buildings I do want to go in this area. Yeah, I found two good ones that I think make sense. One of them is this frozen fountain. So that's obviously fitting considering the snow map. Don't have it anywhere else, of course, in the city, so that's really good. And then the climate research station makes sense having that next to this. So great. So we've got some tourism that that'll work very nicely in this area. And then I want to think about how I want to expand and build the zoning out here. Okay, I've built out this area a little bit when it comes to the infrastructure. So I've got the road system set up. So it's my classic block format. Got that taken care of, got this taken care of, and then I went back, destroyed the water line, and built in a proper water line with the block format for the water system. So that's all set up. Now I want to do the zoning. And I have an idea of how I want to build that out, especially because near this area, I do want to have some a leisure district and a tourism district. You cannot put both of them in the same district, so they have to be separate. All right, it's starting to come together. Here's the zoning that I've done so far. It's exactly the setup that I want. I've done the districts. So we've got the tourism and we've got the leisure. Let's hit play and it can start to build out. Again, you do not want to build too much too fast, and you want to do mixed zoning. So while that's developing, we'll go ahead and put in some offices. Ooh. There we go. Commercial causes a lot of noise, and office does not. So it's a great way to isolate noise. Yep, and the reason why I had to move the highway over is because I was off by 1 unit, and so this my block system wasn't set up correctly. All right, I think that's good. Perfect. And they do need electricity. That is true. There you go. And this guy still needs some water? Will this be enough, or do I need to bring it underneath the launch pad? Splendid. Good. And I'm not too worried about the electricity. Once this builds out a little bit, they'll connect. And eventually, as I build this section down, there will be a power line that I'll move over here. You don't want a neighborhood to be connected by one power line, because then if it's gone, then that whole section loses power. Let's take a look at how this is developing. Great. Does it have electricity? It does. Wonderful. If you're going to build on a snow map in Cities Skylines 1, do not do a big city. Just do a small one, because it really starts to look monotonous from up high. It looks like you're playing a black and white game. You can only see the variation in color when you come down at an angle, and then it looks, of course, gorgeous. But look at these. It looks like Skittles, these vehicles. A little candy. Some Thor Ragnarok. But it's better to do one of the temperate maps, because normally when you're playing the game, you're building from up here, and you know all you see is really white. All right, very good. I think that's probably a good stopping point. I'm looking around to see if there's any car traffic, but I mean there really shouldn't be at 81%. Yeah, that's great. It's a little bit heavy right here. Industry, which is fine. All right, I think that's a good stopping point. Yeah, this area is filled out, so we were able to get the zoo built out, get the West Island, start to build that out. That's great. And it's nice to do a little bit of a summary of what's happened since episode 6. Of course, again, there's a playlist if you want to see the city build from episode 1 till now. I'll definitely do another episode to show the city really hitting 200,000, and I will be putting a subway system in the city, so I'll definitely show that as well, because guess what? There's no mass transit in this city. None. So if you plan out your city, if you got a good road system, you do the right stuff with zoning, you do a good highway system, you can have 81% traffic flow with no despawning, and you don't even need mass transit. By the way, in this city, there's not a single intersection instruction called priority signs in Traffic Manager. There's not any of the intersection instructions or intersection signs. There's not a single lane connector. There's not a single traffic light. And there is also not a single 6-lane road. There's not a single 6-lane road. 4-lane and 2-lane. So hopefully hopefully the series is educational and entertaining and informative. Hopefully it helps all you mayors out there. Please do like the video if you liked it. Take a look at the other playlists where I do the submitted city fixes and the other tutorials and guides. And of course, if you didn't like the video, you can hit the dislike button. And if you want to support me more, smash that subscribe button. Thank you for watching. Take care of yourselves. Bye-bye.